hearing Diddy everywhere. Okay.
Yeah.
So, did you ever have any kind of run-in with Diddy? Did you ever do anything with Diddy? Any projects you worked on with him?
He produced a few records, or had his producers do a few records on my War and Peace album, the Peace Disc. Yeah.
How was he to work with?
It was cool. He gave us great music. We flew out to New York, and
the internet exploded overnight. Old Epstein files resurfaced, and one name that sent chills down everyone's spine? Ellen DeGeneres. Screenshots, whispers, deleted posts, no one could tell what was real, what was manipulated, or what was planted to mislead the public. Then came the chaos. Ellen publicly supporting Diddy, rumors swirling about a secret Hollywood network, controlling narratives, burying scandals, and manipulating perception. And then, Ice Cube entered the storm. A voice willing to speak truth in an industry built on silence. He revealed what insiders knew but dared not say, a system of power brokers protecting certain names, rewriting stories, and punishing those who challenged the narrative. Ice Cube warned that the resurfacing Epstein files were no coincidence. Patterns emerged: celebrity denials, sudden relocations, resurfaced jokes, private parties, all pointing to something far darker than the public imagined. Fans and social media detectives connected dots that may not belong together. Diddy's legal troubles, Ellen's quiet move to England, resurfaced clips hinting at hidden parties, and whispers about other Hollywood elites. Every laugh, every smile, every guest appearance began to feel loaded with meaning. Was it a coincidence or a calculated strategy? Who was silenced? Who pulled the strings? And what secrets were hiding behind the brightest lights of Hollywood? Because in this world, truth is dangerous, power is absolute, and silence is strategy. The Epstein files may have just begun to expose the hidden story no one was ready to hear, a story that could collapse the public narrative overnight. The moment Ellen DeGeneres' name trended alongside the Epstein files, social media erupted like wildfire. Screenshots, whispers, and resurfaced posts circulated faster than any official statement could keep up with. No one could separate fact from manipulation. Fans scrolled, paused, replayed looking for hidden meanings in interviews, jokes, and offhand remarks from years ago. Every clip of Ellen laughing, every public appearance, suddenly felt like a breadcrumb in a larger, darker story. And then came Ice Cube. Ice Cube's voice was the calm eye in the storm, a rare insider willing to speak about what Hollywood elites don't want the public to know. He didn't whisper. He didn't hint. He was exposed. He revealed that the system wasn't random. It was orchestrated. Power brokers, gatekeepers, and celebrities with influence-controlled narratives rewrote histories and ensured scandals were buried. Anyone who dared to question the system, even for truth, risked exclusion. Doors quietly closed. Calls stopped coming. Friends went silent. And Ice Cube had felt that pressure firsthand. According to insiders, he had been watching patterns for years. The resurfacing Epstein files wasn't coincidence. It was a ripple, and the current chaos, Ellen trending alongside Diddy, Oprah, and other powerful figures, confirmed the old suspicions. Parties that were once whispered about in private, late-night jokes about exclusive events, even casual remarks in interviews, all suddenly carried weight. Were they hints? Or deliberate misdirection? Fans and conspiracy threads claimed that the public had been blind all along, that Hollywood carefully curated the public image while hiding the truth just beyond the spotlight. Ellen's sudden move to England didn't help quell the speculation. Social media threads connected the timing of her relocation to the Epstein file chatter, arguing that it wasn't coincidence, that she might be fleeing the storm before the pressure became unbearable. Photos of her new look, a darker hair color, added fuel to the fire as theorists dissected every appearance frame by frame. Each smile, each laugh, each gesture was scrutinized under the lens of the files. Even casual comments, once harmless, were now interpreted as clues about hidden parties and secret knowledge. And then there was Diddy. His legal troubles exploded, hitting headlines worldwide. Some claimed this was no accident. Coordinated attacks, Hidden narratives and pressure from unseen forces were allegedly at play. Ice Cube's perspective made the connections chillingly clear. Powerful circles in Hollywood and entertainment were capable of orchestrating events behind the curtain. It wasn't just about influence, it was about control. The moment someone challenged the system, the spotlight shifted. Suddenly, careers, reputations, and lives hung in the balance. Whispers about private parties began circulating again. Reports of secret invitations, exclusive guest lists, and late-night gatherings where the industry elite allegedly congregated resurfaced online. Social media detectives dug through old clips, guest lists, and interviews. Ellen's name appeared repeatedly at Diddy's parties, at private celebrity gatherings, often as a central figure. The speculation became a storm. Some argued she had knowledge of events the public never saw. Others said she was simply caught in a web she couldn't escape. Either way, the intensity of scrutiny was unprecedented. Twitch, the beloved in-house DJ and producer on Ellen's show, became an unfortunate pivot point in the story. His death, sudden and tragic, fueled even darker rumors. Social media threads began linking his passing to hidden pressures, celebrity circles, and even Epstein file chatter. No proof ever emerged. His family publicly asked for respect. But the digital world ignored boundaries, connecting his story to parties, rumors, and alleged secrets. Every detail, his movements, the Uber to a motel, his phone set to airplane mode, was dissected and spun into a larger narrative about hidden Hollywood machinations. Ice Cube's observations gave context to the chaos. Hollywood, he said, was a system where power operated quietly but ruthlessly. One day, you were celebrated, the next invisible. Networks controlled narratives, curated images, and silenced dissenting voices. Anyone who stepped outside the lines, even to question the ethics of influence or expose wrongdoing, could find themselves quietly blacklisted. His warnings resonated when old clips of Ellen, Diddy, and other powerful figures resurfaced. Observers began reinterpreting jokes, interviews, and appearances through a new lens, one that suggested awareness of hidden dynamics, if not complicity. The pattern Ice Cube highlighted wasn't limited to a single individual. It was systemic. Oprah, Diddy, Ellen, and other Hollywood figures allegedly operated in overlapping circles, where reputations were carefully managed, secrets buried, and public personas polished. Even seemingly small details, timing of events, relocations, and public statements were interpreted as calculated maneuvers to protect powerful interests. Fans began to obsessively track every movement, every appearance, and every public statement. Social media exploded with conjecture, speculation, and viral clips, blending rumor with fact in a way that blurred the lines completely. Amid this storm, Ice Cube's message remained consistent. Speak the truth, and the consequences are immediate. Platforms may ban you. Invitations dry up. Opportunities vanish. The industry protects itself by controlling access, controlling perception, and punishing those who question the status quo. It's not just Hollywood politics, it's survival. And with Ellen's name trending alongside resurfacing Epstein files, the implications became impossible to ignore. Fans began digging into past work environments. Claims of toxic workplaces, resurfaced jokes, and subtle behaviors that were previously overlooked were now being framed as potential indicators of hidden networks. Every staff interview, every off-camera anecdote, every rumor was interpreted through the lens of secrecy and manipulation. Even when no proof existed, the perception of a hidden world was enough to fuel panic, curiosity, and fascination across the globe. The combination of celebrity, tragedy, and leaked files created a perfect storm. Ellen, Diddy, Oprah, all figures with carefully curated images, were suddenly at the center of a cultural and investigative maelstrom. Ice Cube's perspective gave fans a framework to interpret what was happening, a Hollywood system where influence, secrecy, and control dictate both public and private outcomes. Every revelation, rumor, and resurfaced clip was now a potential window into a network that had been hidden in plain sight for decades. And the question that haunted everyone: how much did Ellen truly know? How deep did the connections run? Were her actions and relocation coincidental or strategic? The resurfacing Epstein files made those questions unavoidable. Social media speculation transformed into a global conversation. Fans, journalists, and conspiracy theorists dissected every appearance, every joke, and every photograph. Every rumor was a thread in a vast, tangled web, a web that now included real-life consequences, online scrutiny, and the very real risk of reputations being permanently altered. Ice Cube's warnings echoed through the chaos. Hollywood is a system built on control. Question it, and you risk losing access, friends, and opportunities. Ignore it, and you risk being complicit in a world where truth is dangerous, silence is power, and perception is reality. Ellen's name trending, Ice Cube's warnings, and the internet dissecting every move. The stage is set for the storm to escalate even further, and the questions are only getting louder. Who is controlling the narrative? Who is being silenced? And what secrets are still hidden behind the brightest lights of Hollywood? The internet wasn't just talking, it was exploding. Every trending thread, every viral clip, every screenshot painted a darker picture. Ellen DeGeneres wasn't just trending anymore. She was at the center of a growing web of speculation. Fans dissected old interviews, late-night appearances, and even casual jokes from over a decade ago, searching for hidden meanings. Diddy's legal troubles loomed in parallel, adding fuel to the fire. And social media wasn't patient. Every small detail became a piece of the puzzle. Ice Cube's voice returned to the forefront, cutting through the chaos. This isn't about gossip, he warned in a viral clip. It's about patterns you can't ignore. Once you start connecting the dots, it becomes clear that some people aren't just hiding scandals, they're orchestrating narratives to protect themselves. His words sent a chill down everyone's spine. People began revisiting past headlines, trying to match coincidences with timing, appearances, and rumors. The resurfacing Epstein files seemed like the perfect storm for Hollywood's secrets to resurface, intentionally or not. Rumors about private parties surfaced once again, as if the internet remembered events everyone had tried to forget. Old guest lists, leaked invitations, and casual remarks from hosts became central to the discussion. Social media detectives claimed that Ellen had attended several of these gatherings, often alongside Diddy, Oprah, and other figures whose names appeared alongside resurfacing Epstein files. Each appearance, each smile, each laugh was dissected for hidden meaning. Was she complicit? Was she an observer? Or was she being pulled into a system far beyond her control? And then Twitch's story resurfaced. The in-house DJ and executive producer on Ellen's show, who had passed away suddenly, became a focal point of online speculation. Fans and conspiracy theorists linked his death to unseen pressures within Hollywood circles, suggesting that he had knowledge of events some wanted to remain hidden. His family publicly requested that rumors be stopped, but social media ignored boundaries. Every photo, every appearance, every interview clip was analyzed and spun into a narrative of secrecy, power, and manipulation. Ice Cube explained the mechanics behind the chaos. Hollywood isn't just about fame, he said in a live stream that went viral. It's about control. Once you step out of line or start asking questions, doors close. Calls stop coming. Friends disappear. And if you think it's a coincidence, think again. The industry has a way of sending silent messages. His warning struck home when fans noticed a pattern. Names like Ellen, Diddy, and Oprah were consistently trending in connection with the resurfacing Epstein files, while others who questioned the system quietly vanished from the spotlight. The stories. Tension escalated as more resurfaced rumors intertwined with verified events. Ellen's relocation to England, her quiet months on social media, and subtle changes in public appearances fueled suspicion. Was this strategic? Or merely a coincidence amplified by a media obsessed with scandal? Old clips resurfaced where she joked about after parties, guest appearances, and inside circles. Comments that once sounded playful now carried an eerie undertone. Viewers speculated that her laughter masked knowledge she couldn't openly share. Meanwhile, Diddy's legal battles became another flashpoint. Headlines detailed arrests, pending cases, and raids on multiple properties. Conspiracy theorists connected these events to coordinated efforts by unseen industry elites, allegedly punishing Diddy for disrupting the established order. Ice Cube hinted that these weren't isolated incidents, but part of a broader system designed to control who rises and who falls. Fans began dissecting the timing of these events alongside resurfacing Epstein files, drawing parallels between celebrity misfortune and unseen machinations. As the narrative expanded, social media threads drew in more names. Oprah, Jay-Z, and other Hollywood heavyweights appeared in discussions about secret networks, celebrity control, and media manipulation. Even without proof, speculation spread like wildfire. Fans replayed interviews, scrutinized appearances, and dug into past rumors, convinced that a hidden network was orchestrating events behind the scenes. Every new headline, every resurfaced clip, added fuel to the growing frenzy. The combination of celebrity, tragedy, and leaked files created a perfect storm. Ellen, Diddy, Oprah, all figures with carefully curated public images, were suddenly at the center of a global investigation of perception, influence, and secrecy. Every appearance, every joke, and every old photo became potential evidence of a hidden system. Social media amplified these suspicions, spreading them to millions worldwide. Every fan, journalist, and theorist felt compelled to connect the dots, whether or not the dots truly belonged together. Ice Cube continued to stress the dangers of speaking out. Platforms would ban you. Invitations would dry up. Opportunities would vanish. He'd seen it firsthand, and he warned the public that Hollywood's gatekeepers don't just protect reputations, they control the narrative. They decide who is celebrated, who is forgotten, and who is punished. The resurfacing Epstein files merely illuminated the system's shadowy mechanics. Fans, fueled by fear and curiosity, dissected every detail. Ellen's public apologies for past workplace issues, her social media activity, and subtle gestures during appearances were now analyzed for hidden meaning. The contrast between her smiling daytime persona and alleged behind-the-scenes behavior sparked debates about authenticity, complicity, and control. Comparisons to Diddy and other celebrities suggested that while image and brand were carefully managed, the reality behind closed doors might be very different. The internet frenzy reached a fever pitch when rumors suggested secret recordings existed, potentially documenting private conversations and events never intended for public eyes. Speculation about these tapes caused widespread panic online, as theorists linked them to Diddy, Ellen, and others. Authorities never confirmed the existence of such materials, and families involved publicly pushed back against rumors. Yet the viral speculation continued to grow, feeding the narrative of a Hollywood system built on secrecy, manipulation, and silence. Even without evidence, perception became reality. Online posts, viral clips, and resurfaced jokes created a landscape where fans and journalists alike questioned every interaction, every friendship, and every smile. The combination of power, secrecy, and tragedy created a narrative that was impossible to ignore. Every appearance became a puzzle piece, every rumor a potential clue, and every disappearance a warning about the cost of speaking truth in Hollywood. Ice Cube emphasized that this wasn't unique to Ellen or Diddy. The system of control extends to anyone who gains visibility or influence. Celebrity image, reputation management, and media manipulation are tools used to protect insiders while silencing dissenters. It's a delicate, dangerous balance where questioning the status quo can result in career-ending consequences. And when high-profile names trend alongside resurfacing files like Epstein's, the public begins to see the system for what it truly is, a machine designed to maintain control at any cost. Fans began connecting personal tragedies to the resurfacing Epstein files, linking them to perceived pressures, insider knowledge, and social influence. Twitch's death became a focal point, demonstrating how personal loss could be interpreted as a consequence of the hidden systems operating in Hollywood. Even though no evidence directly connected him to any scandal, the combination of tragedy, celebrity connections, and resurfaced rumors painted a chilling picture. Ellen's name continues trending. Diddy's legal battles intensify. Ice Cube's warnings resonate more than ever. Social media speculation explodes, blending fact and fiction into a single narrative of secrecy, power, and control. The public watches, debates, and theorizes, but the real truth remains obscured by layers of celebrity, manipulation, and fear. The storm around Ellen, Diddy, and the resurfacing Epstein files reaches a fever pitch. Social media chatter wasn't just speculation anymore, it was an obsession. Every trending hashtag, every viral clip, every resurfaced interview felt like pieces of a massive, hidden puzzle. Fans, journalists, and theorists combed through old appearances, trying to decode messages and intentions that may or may not have been there. And in the middle of it all stood Ice Cube, a rare voice daring to name what many feared. This isn't just about gossip or rumors, Ice Cube said in a viral livestream. It's about power, control, and silence. People need to understand that the system doesn't just protect itself, it punishes those who step out of line. And when these files start resurfacing, when old names trend next to new scandals, it isn't coincidence. It's calculated. The resurfaced Epstein files were no longer just documents. They were a mirror reflecting Hollywood's hidden dynamics. Names like Ellen, Diddy, and Oprah kept appearing alongside stories of power, parties, and secrecy. Each clip of Ellen joking about after parties now seemed like a potential hint at hidden truths. Diddy's legal troubles, previously treated as isolated incidents, were now connected in a vast network of control and influence. Every arrest, every court appearance, every headline fit neatly into the narrative Ice Cube had long warned about, a system built to maintain power, manipulate perception, and silence anyone who questions the script. Fans online dissected every appearance frame by frame. Photos of Ellen with friends, at events, and even casual outings in England were re-examined as potential clues. Every smile, every wave, every handshake became a potential breadcrumb leading deeper into the story. Conspiracy threads exploded, connecting her moves with Diddy's legal cases, Twitch's tragic death, and whispers about secret parties that nobody dared speak about publicly. Every coincidence, every unexplained silence, became proof in the court of online opinion. And then came the alleged recordings. Social media claimed there were tapes, secret recordings that could allegedly reveal interactions, conversations, and decisions involving Hollywood power players. No one could confirm their existence, and authorities never verified them. But the speculation alone was enough to send shockwaves. Every post, every discussion, every viral video added tension, making the public wonder what truths were hidden behind the cameras, the smiles, and the bright lights of Hollywood. Twitch's story became central to the narrative. The beloved DJ and executive producer had been found dead under circumstances that fueled online theories. Social media theorists claimed he had been caught in the crosshairs of Hollywood elites, pressured to stay silent about what he had witnessed. While family members pleaded for respect and clarity, the internet kept spinning stories. Photos of him at events, his professional interactions, even his final days, were dissected and woven into the narrative of secrecy and manipulation. Ice Cube's perspective provided context to the chaos. Hollywood isn't just a city, he warned. It's a system. And systems protect themselves. You speak up, you risk everything. You stay silent, you're complicit. But the moment files like Epstein's resurface, patterns emerge, patterns that people in power don't want you to see. He reminded the public that even without proof, perception could destroy careers. The resurfacing files didn't just hint at corruption. They highlighted a structure of influence and silence that had existed for decades. Ellen's relocation to England, her new public appearance, and subtle lifestyle changes became fuel for speculation. Some claimed she was fleeing a storm that hadn't even broken yet. Others argued the timing of Diddy's legal cases, public apologies, and resurfacing files pointed to a coordinated effort to control narratives. Every move, every statement, every Instagram post was scrutinized for hidden meaning. Fans weren't just curious, they were convinced that a hidden web of influence was shaping events behind closed doors. Diddy's legal battles intensified the tension. Social media threads suggested that his arrest, court cases, and property raids were orchestrated punishment for challenging the Hollywood hierarchy. Online sleuths connected these events to old rumors, party guest lists, and resurfacing Epstein files, claiming a powerful network of gatekeepers was controlling outcomes for profit and influence. Ice Cube's warnings became prophetic. Hollywood wasn't random. It was strategic, controlled, and ruthless. The narrative took a darker turn when conspiracy theorists began linking seemingly unrelated celebrity events to the resurfacing files. From sudden deaths to mysterious relocations, everything was reinterpreted. Twitch's death, Ellen's moves, and Diddy's troubles were woven into a single tapestry, a story of control, secrecy, and hidden influence. While none of the connections were confirmed, the public perception solidified. Hollywood's glittering surface hid shadows deeper and darker than anyone had imagined. Fans and theorists dissected old interviews frame by frame. Ellen's jokes, gestures, and offhand comments were revisited with a lens of suspicion. Diddy's appearances at private parties, his legal setbacks, and his public statements were scrutinized as evidence of a larger, orchestrated system. Even appearances by Oprah, Jay-Z, and other Hollywood figures were analyzed, suggesting overlapping circles of influence. Social media amplified every interpretation, every rumor, and every speculative connection. Ice Cube emphasized the stakes. "This isn't entertainment," he said. "This is about truth, power, and consequences." Hollywood isn't forgiving. If you speak, you risk silence. If you stay silent, you're part of the machine. And the resurfacing Epstein files? They're showing patterns. Patterns that people don't want you to notice. By now, the public was obsessed. Every new trending name, every viral clip, every social media post added layers to the story. Ellen's relocation, Diddy's legal battles, Twitch's death, and the resurfacing files had all collided, creating a perfect storm. The narrative was no longer just about rumor. It was about perception, power, and the hidden machinery controlling Hollywood. The pattern itself tells a story of influence, secrecy, and control. The resurfacing Epstein files acted as a magnifying glass, revealing Hollywood's hidden systems in stark detail. Fans began questioning not just Ellen or Diddy, but the entire ecosystem: who truly holds power, who manipulates narratives, and what secrets remain buried in the shadows. The story closes with Ice Cube's warning echoing across the internet: Hollywood is a machine. Perception is reality. Influence is control. And silence? Silence is the currency that keeps the system alive. Watch closely. Question everything. And don't assume you know the full story, because the truth? It's buried behind the brightest lights. The storm continues. Social media speculation, celebrity scrutiny, and the resurfacing Epstein files keep the story alive. Fans are left with more questions than answers. Who is controlling the narrative? Who is silenced? And what truths remain hidden behind Hollywood's glittering facade? The narrative isn't over. The story isn't complete. But one thing is clear: the deeper you dig, the darker the secrets become, and Hollywood's hidden machinery may be the most shocking story of all. The storm isn't over, and the truth is still out there, waiting for those brave enough to dig deeper. You've seen the patterns, the connections, the names resurfacing alongside the Epstein files. Ellen, Diddy, Oprah, powerful figures who shape what we see, what we hear, and even what we believe. But behind the smiles, the guest spots, and the red carpets, the real story is darker, stranger, and more shocking than anyone could have imagined. Now it's your turn to join the investigation. Watch every clip, read every thread, and question every narrative you thought you knew. Don't let Hollywood's gatekeepers control what you know. Don't accept the surface-level story. The files, the rumors, the tragedies, they're all pieces of a puzzle that's been hidden in plain sight. And every day, more pieces surface, more secrets leak, and more questions remain unanswered. If you want to stay ahead of the headlines, understand the patterns of power, and see the hidden forces shaping the stories we're fed, this is your wake-up call. Hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications, and don't just watch the news. Analyze it, question it, and be part of the conversation. Share this with someone who thinks Hollywood is all glitz and glamour, because the truth isn't polite, it isn't easy, and it sure isn't safe. The more we talk, the harder it becomes to hide the truth. Stay curious, stay alert, and remember, what's hidden behind the spotlight is often far more shocking than the show itself.